Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you all the changes I've made on my ultimate death counter in version 1.1. So I've made a lot of changes on my death counter here, and first thing I'm going to show you is I've made some new presets. So you can see that there's a Tombstone, GTA 5 Wasted and Thanos Snap. So the Tombstone one, if you have a look at here, you've got the rip, the number, and then the defeated, and you can change all of the settings on the left side here as usual, like similar to all the other presets in here. So if you go into GTA 5 Wasted, for example, you've got the Wasted coming up here, and then you died 0 times. I think it actually says mission failed, but then I just wanted it to be called Wasted. And then also you can actually set the font family, the title text, so you can actually put in mission failed, and it'll say mission failed. And it also makes a sound once you add an increment like this. And you can see it says you died 2 times, and then you can just reset that. And then also there is a Thanos Snap one, which is the usual. It shows the deaths and then the number, and then the animation, it plays the actual particle effect. So if we just change, say, the dust particles to more like that, 55, and then I just do add increment, you can see it changes deaths, and then it just starts fading away, just like similar to when Thanos did the famous snap. The next thing is I've added an option for mod permissions, so to allow your moderators to use the increment, decrement, and reset, and also set in the amount of deaths. I've also got an option that says don't show overlay on decrement and reset, because before what happened is every time you actually lowered or reset, it actually played the animation still. So I've changed it so that it doesn't show it when you made a mistake, for example. So that option is there for you. I think one of my bigger ones is the update death count onto Twitch chat. So I've actually got it so that you can send a chat message to your Twitch stream, but you can set how many times you've died, and there's also the variables as well, so you can use percentage count percentage for the death count, and then percentage game percentage for the current game that you're streaming. You will need to have your WebSockets connection have a password enabled, so I can show you that just now. So if I open Streamer.bot, so if I go into servers, clients, and then WebSocket server, you can see it's turned on. So if I just stop the server, and then on authentication, you just need to tick that as enabled, and then you just need to type in the passwords, a random password. Of course, don't use that, make it more secure, but this is just an example. And you don't enforce it, just leave enforce on no, and then just start the server. Just refresh to make sure all of the features are enabled properly. You can now go into update death count to Twitch chats, and then you can set the message template, and then in your Streamerbot connection, just make sure you put in your password there, and if you refresh, it should just stay there in the connection because it's using the local storage to keep the passwords there, so you don't have to keep on entering it all the time. And if you just go into tick update death count to Twitch chat, and then you enter this in, it should work. But if you do not have a bot account in your Streamerbot, then untick this, because this does not fall back. I'm actually going to change this so that this is unticked by default. So if you want to use your bot account, you have to make sure this is ticked. But if you want to use your broadcaster account to send the message, or if you don't have a bot account on your Streamerbot, then you will need to have this unticked. But if you want to use a bot account, then you leave this ticked. So the next feature that I want to talk about is animation only mode. So the problem before is whenever you added an increment to the death counter, it always would add 1. But if you had more than one browser source, so say for example you had one preset and then another preset, but they all combine into the same counter, then it actually added 2 instead of just 1, because you had 2 browser sources open and both browser sources were listening to your increment, and they would add 1, so therefore 2 would have been added. At the moment, Twitch are actually introducing a vertical streaming in the beta. So let's say, for example, you want to use one preset in the horizontal and then one preset in the vertical, then you can tick the animation only mode for the second preset. So let's say I want to have my GTA 5 wasted in the first preset, in my horizontal presets. I want to have this in my horizontal, and then I want to have maybe the Thanos snap in the vertical. So I always recommend just use the horizontal one as the one that's not animation only mode, and just tick animation only mode for the vertical preset, or the preset that you're going to put in your vertical. So therefore, whenever you do a def plus, it doesn't add another increment because you have two presets enabled. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but yeah. So if you basically, if you want to have two or more presets, animation only mode should always be for the second and third and fourth preset, so that you don't add more increments by just one command. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it that I can talk about on all this stuff here. But if you are a subscriber on my Twitch channel, I've actually included premium features. So the reason why I included this is because at the moment, the death counter for non-premium subscribers, it only tracks one thing only per game. So if you are streaming, say, GTA 5, and you are tracking how many times you failed a mission, then, and you created a chat command word called fail, it will, of course, track that for you. So you can say, yep, if I'd say like you failed a certain amount of times, so mission failed, and it says you failed 0 times, for example. But then you also want to track how many times you died in the game. So you want to track how many times you failed a mission, and you also want to track how many times you died. The current limitation of the previous setup was that it can only track one thing at the same time. So if you changed it to say deaths, or exclamation mark death, and then you can say wasted, and then wasted here, it still shows the 5 times, but then also the 6 times because I've added an increment. But it's only tracking one thing, and that was a problem where I'm sure there were a lot of people that probably wanted to have a preset to track deaths and a preset to track how many times they failed something. Well, that's when the second command tracking comes in. So the first thing you want to do is you want to treat the first preset as a death counter. So let's say wasted, you want to track this as deaths, and then now you want to track how many times you failed. So if you go to premium mode only and you just click that ticket, it will enable the second command tracking, and then you've got the second command word, which is failed, or fail. So now what you can do is you can actually just do, mission failed, and then you failed a certain amount of times, and you can say like, I don't know, whatever there. So you can see I have failed 2 times because my second command tracking, it's tracking the fail. But now if I want to have a third command word, let's say you want to have a third premium feature. Let's say you want to add I don't know, I'm just gonna say get it or something. If you type in get it, it will then say failed 0 times, because get it is actually a different command. So now you actually have the option as a premium subscriber, or as a subscriber of my Twitch channel, you actually have kind of more commands to use. So you can say, I want to have exclamation mark boo or something. So how many times you got jump scared in the game, you can have that as like a third command, for example, and so on. So, and it's pretty much unlimited as well. So that's why it required another database to track more premium features, because the first database that's for the death counter is only tracking deaths, not other commands. Even though you use fail, you can say you can use fail, or you can say get it in chat command word for the behavior in the non-premium one, but it's actually technically considered a death. But then you just use your own command and whatever the preset says. But in this second one, it's just whatever command you want, you can have all different commands and they all track at different ways. And also on update second command count to Twitch chat, of course, you can now say, you know, how you can also get it to track how many times you failed, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, you can do that in there. I guess the other kind of thing I want to just point out is yeah, the resolving game. It actually shows you what game you're playing on your OBS. So I've noticed that whenever you added the overlay onto OBS, sometimes it didn't track properly, and I've now made it so that you actually see what it's doing. And if it's stuck on resolving game, then all you have to do is just refresh the browser source on your OBS, and then it should just pick up the game that you're using. I also want to note as well is that I am actually using Microsoft Edge for my overlays. I've noticed that Mozilla Firefox and Brave browser, for example, have an issue with the customizers, and that's because of a feature called CSP. At the moment, it seems to work on Opera GX and Edge and Chrome, but Firefox and Brave have issues with all these overlays, and also say the stream alerts and the chat overlay. So that's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe as well, and ring that notification bell for some more videos in the future. And until then, I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.